So I had a conversation about SGA funding that. We've decided that we are going to. Hopefully that will begin as soon as possible. We basically will be having catering, bringing coffee like they do for meetings. Hopefully it's a little more coffee than they do for like a singular meeting. I wasn't super involved in conversations about the logistics of that, but SGA has put forth a pretty significant amount of funding to make sure that that coffee is present when Bob's is open. So that's pretty exciting. We're looking into other ways that we can continue to support Bob's as a space and kind of expand its capacity for events and hosting things from a funding perspective. So.
Throw it. Thank you.
Hello.
I think Bob's is really well used a lot for like open mics, which is always really cool, but that tends to draw in a certain population of students that isn't necessarily open to everyone. So if there could be intentional programming about having more events that are outside of open mics, like maybe like study breaks or just meeting spaces, I don't know, it's like, it's really cool. The painting everywhere just like always makes me think of when I first came here and how much has changed since then. But like reopening it and having it be a space for things like outside of, you know, like open mics, you know, just pushing for that to draw in like different students and more students, because it is in Maine, which is kind of far from a lot of other people on campus. But I think with a decent amount of like intentional programming, there's no reason why it shouldn't like revive itself to be back what it used to be.
Are there board games in Bob's? Or cards or anything? I feel like that could maybe be a cool thing. What I love so much about getting the coffee is like, it's great for Bob's to be open just like as a space, but I love that there's something now to do, like there's a reason to go, even if you're not there. And I could imagine it could be like, there could be board games, you can, you know, drop by, play some cards with friends in Bob's as you drink your coffee. I think that would be fun. Coloring books, crafts, Play-Doh.
In addition to all those excellent ideas, I wonder if we can integrate with programming that's already being done, i.e. like by the CLS, because I know they pop up like for Power Hour when they like look at people's resumes and then they like hand away free like chargers, and I think hosting an event like that where it seems like equally accessible to all students, or like all types of students want to go to that, to get them down to Bob's and like collaborating with the CLS or other similar programs that already exist on campus.
In relation to the open mic night thing, I was thinking maybe like there could be like a potential for like an open performance rental space, maybe like a designated time, like every night, like 7 to 9 or something. To be open to anyone to rent the space to do like a musical performance or a theatrical performance or like any kind of thing they want to do, like even if they're not like a designated student group.
Speaking to that point, a lot of students have reached out to me and been like, hey, can we perform at like this Harris or this Gardner and stuff like that. So there is a decent amount of students that are interested in having spaces to perform, and I think Bob's would be like a really great area for them to do that, just having like open nights. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Bob's is, so the way it works is it's like any other room in the JRC, for example, where if you go into the room and nobody else is in it, you can use the space unless someone's reserved it prior, so you could reserve it. It's on 25 Live to be able to reserve it, but I think that maybe reaching out to some groups and organizations and inviting them to use the space in that way would be really nice.
Yeah, I'm just curious about like the things that are already in Bob's, like the piano. Pretty sure it's like super out of tune, so I think it would be nice to actually like work on those to make sure that like they're functioning.
And so kind of in response to that, although not specifically in response to the piano. Earlier in the semester, I went to Bob's and kind of did a recce of everything that is in Bob's and all of the things that don't work and that could be improved. And so actually I did that last semester towards the end. And in response to that, Michael Sims in the Office of Student Involvement has secured like a bunch of funding to kind of upgrade some of those things. I've spoken to Vidush and we've kind of got the Wi-Fi fixed in Bob's, and so we're slowly making a few like incremental steps to kind of make that space a place where you don't want to leave. So Wi-Fi was kind of important for that, and so yeah.
Yeah. I guess my question is like, how would it work to like get these ideas like implemented, like planning the programming and stuff? Would there be like a specific team of people to work on it, or is it like what is the idea behind that?
If you have a suggestion, I'm happy to hear it. I haven't really thought through anything, but
I mean, I would be happy to like, I would love to be on a team about it. I don't know if other people would be interested or if that's the way that people would want to go with it, but yeah.
I was thinking that we could maybe look at having like student groups, like practice or meet in Bob's, just to expose more students to that space. I know Pub Quiz was there maybe a couple of times, and getting those different people in there might make them realize that it's a really interesting space, and get more people there.
You want me to just speak like this? Sure. I was wondering if on the ways Bob stuff gets implemented, is there a Bob's like working group of, are they involved at all in helping with this sort of stuff? I don't want to.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a conversation, I guess.
It also doesn't have to.
No, it's fair to, so there used to be something called a Bob's and Lyle's Advisory Committee, which was effectively when Bob's operated as a cafe, and when Lyle's operated as a pub. There were stakeholders from different departments on campus that were represented on this advisory committee. I think almost no students were on it. Probably no students were on it. So it was like Ben Newhouse, like Dean of Students, Vice President of Student Affairs, like someone from finance, someone from dining, etc., etc., etc. And they would make kind of decisions about like the running of it and stuff, because those were effectively businesses at that time. Since then, the decision has been made to kind of dissolve that committee because it really doesn't serve any purpose. I think though that, so to answer your question, that doesn't exist. There's no working group. But I think that Lily's idea is great, and that could be a great senator project too. I think I would be happy to guide and assist you in the process of forming a group, and if other senators are also interested, more than happy to help that happen.
So you referenced Bob's being like a cafe. Is there any potential for reforming it to be something similar, like a smaller scale version of Spencer Grill, or is that like completely off the table?
I would say it's completely off the table.
Okay.
Any other further discussion about this agenda item?
Okay, so the next thing, agenda item number 9 has been tabled until next session, but you can see it there, so maybe just start thinking about how you feel about it. Cool. Then we are on to agenda item number 10, the approval of additional wages for concerts as presented by Treasurer Weber.
Hi, this should be pretty quick. Basically, the 3 positions that we just voted on, they need to get paid. Their wages were not initially in my my projection for this semester, and because Senate must approve all wages, I'm just gonna put it past you and we will vote on it. It's $1,890 for 3 new positions on concerts. Again, $1,890. That is an extra allocation in addition to the standing concerts budget. Any questions?
Is that $1,890 in addition to what was allocated for the concerts chair? Because we don't have a concerts chair now.
Yeah, because you hired 3 new people, right? Sorry, I think there was some miscommunication here.
To fill the vacancy.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. 3 new positions, yeah? Do I need to adjust this number?
No.
Okay. So we stand at $1,890 for concerts, extra wages. We're really excited to have more people working on concerts.
Senator Kirsch.
So, like the old singular concerts chair position, is that like subtracted from that? I think was the question. Because it
I had not done that. Do we need to do that?
was that in the projection.
So, yeah, okay, so basically, the way that I have understood this new arrangement is that the concerts chair, I'm just leaving that as is. And then adding 3 new positions. We're probably not gonna utilize the full concerts chair wage, but just in case for some reason we need like extra hours or something, I wanna leave that flexibility because I understand that this is a slightly different system than we've worked with in the past. I definitely don't want to be under allocating wages. So if people need to work more than they thought that they were going to or something because of the new system, I wanna make sure that that isn't gonna be a problem. So I left the concerts chair wage allocation in the budget and then just added 3 positions. If that's problematic to anyone, please just let me know and I can change it, but. We good?
Any further discussion before we move into the approval of these wages? Okay, we will now vote. 1,893. All right, the wages are approved. This is great, awesome. Then we are on to agenda item number 11, new business. Does anyone have some new business? pt.2. Okay, hi. So last Sunday, that resolution was brought to Senate about split term cabinet positions, and we've made some modifications to it. If you don't mind pulling it up.
Wait, Quinn said that's where.
Quinn said, so if you scroll up and then click on, scroll down a little bit. Yep, click on that, and then it's attached. Nope. It's.
Never mind, go back.
I think it's the other one. Yes. Thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah, so basically this has been edited, and we have changed the wording of it. The biggest change has been in making it clear that the Office of the Treasurer would not be something that's split term, because that would just be an epic flaming disaster. So that is noted in Article 3's, the one after the one that's right there. Excluding the Office of the Treasurer. But everything else is the same as it was presented last week, and so we wanted to bring it back to Senate to have it reapproved so that we could send it out to the student body this week. Once again, so the applications for cabinet hirings went out this past Tuesday night, Wednesday, something like that, and they will be closing March 8th, and then the interviews for next year's cabinet will be March 11th, 12th, and 13th, so please encourage people that you know to apply for positions. And this is hopefully going to be in place when those decisions are made. or at least when those interviews are held, somewhere reasonably within the timeline so that people know what they're getting in for. So yeah, are there any questions or further concerns?
Just to clarify, by the office of the treasurer, does that mean the treasurer and the assistant treasurer, or just the treasurer?
That means both. So it means that the assistant treasurer nor the treasurer can be split term. They have to be literally on campus for both durations of their time on cabinet. Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns? No? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna move into voting for the reapproval of the resolution as amended by the reform committee.